First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT. PostWrestling.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe, download, like, all those things, comment, rate. But also
Twitch.tv/upNXT podcast.
Yes.
Hello, Twitch room.
Hello, welcome to the Fight Pit.
Yeah.
Fight Pit 2.
Fight Pit 2. We finally got there. We've been
wanted
craving for another Fight Pit for so long.
The people
and
wanted
finally,
it.
They gave the people what they wanted.
No Kurt Angle as a ref, though.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah.
What's he doing right now? Come on.
Yeah, or Shamrock or something cool.
I thought it had to be Kurt Angle for every Fight Pit from now on.
Yeah. Well, Fight Pit 2 happened tonight. Yes, we are your NXT friends. Friends. And we talk about NXT every Wednesday night, and that's what we're here to do. And we podcast a lot. How you doing? How you surviving?
I'm pretty good. Yeah, I'm not bad. I've been dressing my finger all week because I sliced right through that bad boy.
Right before your
Impact
Impact
before
show.
Hard to Kill. And I'm talking to people, and they go, why didn't you get stitches? I'm like, I had to watch Impact. I just had to watch...
Why don't you get stitches? Because I'm hard to kill.
I'm hard to kill, baby.
Yeah.
So that's healing up nicely. Gonna have a gnarly scar right there.
Damn, I hope you're okay.
Yeah, I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, the rule is if
it's definitely stopped bleeding.
Yeah, that's
so that only took a couple of days.
We're men. We don't need stitches. Yeah. I just tape things up and hope for the... I'm like Sabu. Super glue it.
My job is watching people do stupid stuff to their bodies on a daily basis. I can live with slicing right through my finger.
Yeah. It's like Sin Cara when he hurt his finger in the match. Remember?
Yeah. Del Rio didn't like that. Yeah.
I mean, it fucking probably really hurt. I don't know.
Sure. He broke his finger. Of course it hurt. Yeah.
So you were doing a Hard to Kill show, and with a sliced up finger, you talked about Impact Wrestling.
Yes.
Fuck that owl. You were talking about that, and then now you have Deep Impact with Andrew Thompson. Post Wrestling, upNXT, Worlds Collide. You're doing that kind of every Tuesday so far?
Yeah, every Tuesday from now on. I'll be going live after Impact Wrestling, and we'll be talking all about Impact. It was myself and Andrew this week. I think I'm going to be teaming up with Andrew a fair bit. Yeah. But it's a rotating position, so I'm sure I'll be with some other familiar voices on that show. You
know what you gotta get? You had TN8, Nate Milton, on For Hard for Kill, and he's the legend of TNA wrestling. You got to get him on a show with JP from BWE, the TNA experts. They know everything. It could be a TNA future in a game, a Bound for Glory game with those two, right?
Yeah, they love their TNA.
Yeah, TNA, total nonstop action.
I feel it'll be one of those things though, where when you introduce your two friends to each other, and you find out that they've both got more in common than you have. Yeah. And then you just sit there in the corner, like,
you're like, great,
cool,
cool. That's true.
Remember The Rock, guys?
So we're doing, if you haven't heard, we do this show upNXT every Wednesday night, and the podcast is out right after we go live on Twitch. But we've added Deep Impact to our free feed, as well as Shot in the Dark with John Ceno Evil. He talks about all the wrestling you don't watch. It's like a 15-minute or less show where he catches you up on all the other stuff, NXT UK, AEW Dark, 205 Live, and all that stuff, and cherry pick some matches for you. Yeah,
especially with this Dusty Classic going on right now with the both the men and the women are having matches on 205 Live. So absolutely, if you want to feel all caught up in time for NXT or AEW on a Wednesday night, listen to Shot in the Dark. It will keep you right up to date.
Yeah, and every Thursday now, our time, Eastern time, 1 p.m., we've been going live on Twitch for our AEW upNXT show, which soon to be also on this feed. I think we said the first Thursday of February, so February 4th, coming on this feed will be no longer upNXT. We'll keep the name for a different show, but BD Elite. So
BD Elite.
Yeah.
Every Thursday. And you can, if you want to have a little taster for free tomorrow, join us on Twitch. 1 p.m. By the time you're listening to it, it might be, quickly, turn on the computer. I got to watch BD Elite, 1 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
And will be the perfect lead-in to any post-wrestling patrons. Waiting and Jordan Goodman are starting the wellness policy tomorrow at 3 p.m. So listen to us talk all about AEW and then go over and check out that new show. It's definitely one I'm really interested in. Like mental health, I think, is such a important thing. Something we should all get checked out, just like we check our teeth and our eyes and all that. And I think for a lot of people during this year, this pandemic and everything, I know myself, I've been struggling in the last year, definitely. So I think it's a cool thing to check in with. And I think what Way and Jordan are kind of setting up, this community for wrestling fans, but talking about things like mental health, I think it's really fucking cool and useful. And I can't see many other pro wrestling podcasts really providing something like that. So absolutely join us at 1 and then go over to those guys to check them out at 3.
Yeah, they'll be doing that show. And speaking to Jordan, he's super excited, and we've had him on before, and we've become good friends with him. And it's great. I think that's such a great show, and I can't wait to listen to it. We'll be in the chat tomorrow. I know that for sure. The chat will be fire. So what we're basically saying is our free feed of podcasts are growing.
I feel we've just become a network now.
We're our own
tune
network.
in every day. There'll be something.
The BDE network.
I don't do anything now. I just go on Twitch.
Yeah, hang out with us. Mondays we've been watching Raw and recreating things, and we have our whole BDE title on the line and 2K19 and twitching and stuff. Because if you're like us and bored in the pandemic, come hang out with us. We'll be your friends. Yeah, lots of podcasts we've been doing. We did a Behind the BDE this week where we briefly talked about Wizard of Oz and Dark Side of the Moon and Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candles. Yeah. So that's an exclusive.
We can't say any more because it's exclusive.
That's the World Champ show. If you're crazy enough to become a World Champ, you get access to that show. Wei Ting's favorite show.
Yes.
He says it's his favorite podcast.
Listens right away.
He does, because he messages me. He actually hasn't messaged me yet. He's probably behind on this one.
He did comment on the Instagram. Though,
oh,
so
okay.
I think you've seen it.
Yeah. So then we also have a top 5 show on the Patreon this week. Top 5 Royal Rumble moments. So me and you are going to dissect and count down some moments and crazy surprises and just epic encounters in Royal Rumble history and some honorable mentions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, we've already recorded that. That's coming out Friday. But still, I love getting in the Rumble mood. So tweet us at upNXT Podcast. What are some memorable Royal Rumble moments for you? I'd love to hear some, maybe a bit more niche ones, out of the box.
Because they did that WWE doc we just watched the other day on AJ Styles with the Royal Rumble. I was at that Rumble. It's like one of my favorite moments I've been at with his debut, and we definitely talk about that on this show as well. And Up Yours, where World Champ patrons pick stuff where we review, and we have them on. Friend and super best friend of post wrestling, Jason Hagholm, one of our World Champs, has picked us to review the Royal Rumble 1995. So we're reviewing that this week as well. We've just been watching a lot of Rumbles.
We've been watching a lot of Rumbles. We'll probably watch a few more tonight.
Yeah, we will. Yeah,
we're very much getting in the Rumble mode because we're all gearing up. We're all strategizing because, of course, January 28th. We can't do a show without mentioning this. It is the upNXT Rumble, and the field is almost filled. We've got a few slots left, and we do have some plans for next week's show to fill those final spots. But yes, you've been seeing on the socials all these people declaring themselves Martin Bushby. Just
who?
What? Way thought him and Martin were cool. Apparently not. Throwing pure fire at Way there. You got Thompson still running his mouth.
Yeah.
So much going on there.
Yeah, I heard him call you Braden on.
Yeah, he called me Braden. Yeah. He thought I was a loser for a second.
We're on the same team. We're on the same team. Why are you coming after me?
But yes, this Sunday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, on Jordan Goodman's Instagram Live, you might be familiar with his unnecessary conversations.
Yeah.
He's kind of inviting people. It's going to be like an open forum.
It's a wrestling talk show.
Yeah.
That's what's popular right now.
That if you are in the Rumble and you want to chat some shit and declare yourself and all of that, Jordan at Jordan Beatwell. 9:30 p.m.
Follow
on
all the
Sunday.
follow all the upNXT at upNXT podcast because we'll retweet and link
Absolutely.
and all that stuff.
So that will be fun. It will be a kind of promo battle thing this Sunday that you can check out to get hyped for the main event next Thursday.
I love it. We've become puppet masters. We got all these people to turn on each other. There's new alliances to be made. We have some people declared for the Royal Rumble. We have some surprises for the Royal Rumble. And me and you are going to be the hosts. We're still not sure how it's going to work, but it's going to work. We're going to be doing a lot of trivia questions for people to survive in the Royal Rumble. It's going to be basically us hopefully asking a ton of questions and kind of being the game show host. Shout out Alex Trebek. We'll be kind of rolling with the punches there and hopefully create some sort of game and flow going through, 30 people in this Royal Rumble game. And the winner of that gets to go on to the granddaddy of them all, the upNXT WrestleMania game, to challenge me, the BDE champion. So I can't wait. I can't wait to see who steps up and eventually loses to me, because it's all just like lead up to failure, and like it's gonna suck.
Oh boy,
yeah,
you're fighting words already from the champion.
Who are these jabronis in this?
Hey,
Martin
you might
Bushby.
not even get past Elimination Chamber, Braden.
Yeah. Oh, is there Elimination
I don't
Chamber?
know. Probably not.
Oh.
No.
See, Benno.
This one game alone is stressing me out.
Yeah, I listened to that BWE clip, and you hear British wrestling guys, Benno, Martin Bushby, there's Andrew Thompson, Wei Ting. They're all beefing now.
All beefing.
Yeah, and some of our world champ patrons are going to be in this. Actually, we got a text before the show of someone who was on the Post Wrestling Christmas show.
Oh.
Has declared their entry in the Royal Rumble.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who?
They said they don't want us to. They want that edge pop.
Oh, they want the edge pop.
So we'll see.
We'll see
who it is. Yeah. So looking forward to that. Again, follow all the socials and stuff because we'll be doing it live on Twitch. And if you miss it, the podcast version of this clusterfuck of a game will somehow be on the Patreon as well.
All 5 hours
Yeah,
of it.
it's going to be fucking long. It's going to be crazy.
Red Bull is your friend.
Yeah. But no one's your friend in a Royal Rumble.
No one.
No, yeah. So all that stuff. We podcast a lot. $5 a month, North American tier, gets you access to all the podcasts on the Patreon, all the past shows, all the Rumble stuff we'll be talking about, best matches ever, all that stuff. Go check us out and support us. And I guess the last plug is, hey, thanks for everyone out there buying our White Claw raccoon hoodies.
Yeah.
Because everyone's sending in t-shirts and pictures of the stuff. ProWrestlingTees.com/upNXT. Go buy a hoodie and support us here. And it looks fresh.
Why wait? We've still got a few months left of cold weather.
Yeah.
Get it now. Get it while it's hot. And wear it while it's cold.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely. You guys are looking fresh in them, and I appreciate you guys supporting. But that's where you can go and support us too. Patreon and the PWT and all that stuff. So thanks.
Download the PWT app. That's new.
Whoa, that's a thing?
Yeah.
That's
and then
wild.
Get our hoodie.
Yeah.
ProWrestlingTees.com/upNXT.
And then go listen to Jordan on Scrum Show.
Just be with us all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Are you stuck inside? Just hang out with us.
We're your friends.
Should we just like Truman Show, Ed TV this? Like just stream 24/7?
Can you imagine once the world goes back to normal and we just start following people and be like, yeah, but how about Timothy Thatcher? Eh? Tyler Rust. Tyler, leave me alone. I've actually got to go back to work now.
No, I can't.
The world is open.
Yeah, true. Well, for now, we'll continue to podcast and to Twitch for your entertainment, wherever you may be, whatever you're going through. The world is hopefully in a better place today. Going forward, the next 4 years could be good.
It's a brand new day.
It's a new day.
A new world.
Wow.
Positivity, people.
Revolution.
We can get through this.
Yeah. Love over hate, definitely, as two Canadian lads. So let's talk about some NXT.
Let's do it.
Yeah, welcome to the Fight Pit 2. Disclaimer, take a shot every time we say Fight Pit going forward. So we start off, but there was before kind of some news going off into NXT. We knew that the Dusty Classic was going to have 2 versions of it.
Yes.
One being the women's division. Mm-hmm. So we were announced and introduced to some of the tag teams there, but there were so many open slots. Well, there's a bunch of signings today to WWE NXT, the Performance Center. One of them, a few of them, I think, have been seen on AEW. Wait, have all of them been on AEW, actually? It's Priscilla Kelly.
Priscilla Kelly, definitely. But she was also in the Mae Young Classic. She's kind of been everywhere.
Yeah. And the other one is something Black.
Elena
Yeah,
Black, is it?
yeah, and she's been on AEW as well.
Right.
So I know I'm familiar with Priscilla Kelly, whole Darby Allin thing there, but I think she's great, and I couldn't understand why she wasn't like a mainstay on Dynamite when we've seen. I think she was on the Cruise episode, Jericho Cruise.
Yeah, we've seen her once or twice.
Yeah,
definitely.
So she's gonna be in this Dusty Classic. It's the Goth Bays, essentially, the two Goth girls, and I'm all for it. I'm supportive of this group instantly. So I'm looking forward. I think NXT. I don't think NXT has the best women's division in all of pro wrestling, and they're making total waves with it, and have been producing as they show us tonight. I hate when they go into like, oh, they kind of force it down your throat, show like.
Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there
but,
for sure.
But I'm actually like genuinely like, hey, that's great. Like
it makes sense.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want to?
It's very similar in Impact. They've just crowned tag team champions in the women's division because they've got great women. I think it's still baffling to me why these tag championships sit on the main roster so much of the time when their women's roster seems a lot weaker, whereas pretty much everyone in NXT is pretty great. So I think this is a perfect idea, the Women's Dusty Classic.
Yeah, it's looking great. So new signees, more to NXT here, and I'm interested in it. But we start off NXT Wednesday, January 20th, 2021. Still feels weird saying that. We start off with a promo package for the Fight Pit 2 later tonight. But we start off with a match for the Dusty Classic, and that is Leon Ruff and KUSHIDA versus The Way, Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory.
Yeah, and we have Beth Phoenix back on commentary.
Whoop, whoop.
And Wade and Vic celebrate this by exploding party poppers in her face. And Beth is back.
Yeah, Beth is here. She is here I guess she heard about this Dusty Classic, the women's one, and she's like, I gotta
be there.
Yeah,
I've gotta
definitely
be at the CWC.
Yeah, you gotta be there live to experience it. So Beth is back, which is great. I mean, I hope it sucks to ask people to go to work during a pandemic, but if things are cool and safe and whatever, it's good that she's actually there. I think it helps. I think she sounded better being there. I thought. I noticed it.
It must be so hard.
It must be.
We find it when we do podcasts with people like over Zoom and stuff. It's harder than in person.
Yeah, we're lucky we're actually roommates, but yeah, we definitely are lucky in that factor. But so we start off with this tag team match: Gargano and Theory, KUSHIDA and Ruff, and there's a bunch of back and forth. There's ties to like the move, the crucifix that Gargano like lost with, and there's like counters from Ruff and from Theory going back and forth, but eventually he tags in KUSHIDA. He gets in and starts to work Theory's arm, hitting. There's like the classic KUSHIDA stomps and the shoulder breaker thing. Johnny's in and now stomping around on KUSHIDA, which is the match we kind of all want to see. But they go to picture in picture, and it's basically Gargano and Theory in control of Ruff again. When we come back, there's this like double team neck breaker, kind of face breaker. There's this move the Young Bucks do where one of them puts their leg out and the other like gut busters and then neck breakers. It was like an inverted version of that Johnny and Theory do here. But Ruff comes back eventually after taking a beating with his flying cutter, but like in midair changes his direction while doing it, so it looks just insane. And that's only a 2 count, but he eventually makes the hot tag to KUSHIDA. He comes in on fire. There's the like back spring elbow and then the forward front kick, and then he hits the arm breaker, like cross arm breaker, and Ruff hits a tope to the outside, and it's KUSHIDA who ties up Gargano with this crazy looking like bridge Northern Light suplex, but the hoverboard lock's still applied or something. Hits this move on Johnny. He can literally not get his shoulders up, and KUSHIDA pins Johnny Gargano, and KUSHIDA and Ruff advance in this Dusty Classic. This finish was crazy.
Finish was good, yeah. I felt this was kind of the just Leon Ruff show, this match. For some reason, this didn't quite click with me.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that potential KUSHIDA Gargano match. This was just fine. It didn't kind of have that spark and that bang that I sort of was expecting, especially with an opening match.
Yeah.
Ruff did some cool stuff. I was pleased with the result. I think it makes more sense, Ruff and KUSHIDA going on, and you set up that singles match, but I don't see these guys going all the way at all.
Yeah,
because we assume we're getting Kushida Gargano at Takeover.
That's got to be the angle. So I guess the way cost them the match next time they fight.
So maybe that was why I wasn't too into it, because I see this all as a way. I don't see any of these guys in the finals of the Dusty Classic, so I just see it as more of a device to further a feud. But
our Twitch chat is asking what the name of Kushida and Ruff would be.
Oh, okay.
Would it be Ruff Kush, or would it be Chris Elliott's answer here? DeLorean.
DeLorean?
Like the DeLorean,
yeah.
but Leon.
Jeez. I think Frank suggested Rough Time Riders.
Oh my god. Yeah. Great, Scott. So yeah, the way lose here, and Ruff and Kushida go forward in this tournament. But yeah, I think the match we're aiming for is that singles match. I think we all want it. Kushida and Gargano needs to happen. It'll be a show stealer for sure. We have Pete Dunne, a little video face to camera here. He's like, "Hey Finn Balor, you say that everyone watches you," because his new shirt says so, and it's kind of really
ugly.
Yeah, it's not good. He says, "Everyone's been watching you, but I know you've been watching me. Our careers have been parallel, but we've never met. You were always like in different places, and you were here first, but I did it better. I'm the new one, and it's my legacy to finally meet with you one-on-one and, you know, take the NXT title from you." And it shows like his history coming in through the WWE, so, and NXT UK. So I guess we're going towards this match.
I think this kind of video works for Dunne a lot more, because you can show off in video form all the impressive stuff he's done, his epic title reign with the NXT UK title, snapping people's fingers, doing cool stuff in matches, and keeping it simple. I think his accent does enough to make him sound intimidating. I think this is a much better way of presenting Pete Dunne than have him going into the middle of the ring and going, "Oh, I deserve a title shot."
Yeah.
So I thought this was pretty good.
Yeah, I think the style worked better for him if he just came out. Yeah. I mean, I want to see that match, so I'm cool with
Yeah,
this.
I think they're building up kind of the top of the card pretty nicely. And
Is that Takeover though? Is that main event?
I mean, you've got the possibility of that, possibility of Cross.
Let's be honest.
And going to Kyle again, I see that further down the line.
Let's all be honest. Do we want to see Finn versus Cross or Finn versus Dunne at Takeover?
We want to see Finn versus Dunne.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. So let's just go with that, because I don't want them to go with Cross, but I don't know. We'll get to Cross. Malcolm Bivens is backstage. He says, we have some important business with William Regal here tonight. And Tyler Rust comes out, and he's like, "This guy's a future North American champ, a future NXT champ. He's just the future." And it's Rust who's like, "Yeah, I talked to Regal. I got a match tonight, and it's against Bronson Reed." And Malcolm Bivens kind of changes his tone, is like, well, wait a second. What? I don't know if, all right. Okay. And like, we got to regroup, and then they walk off. So Tyler Rust looks like he's like dressed like a lead singer of Florida Georgia Line or something.
He looks to me like he should be in Lord of the Rings. Not a main character, just one of like someone of Rohan. Just some random soldier at Rohan.
Like his hair, well, he usually has his hair up like the Last Samurai style hair, but here he looked more like, I don't know, like a cowboy in a Skinamax movie or something. Like, it's definitely weird. I'm interested in seeing these guys move on and evolve. Also, have you heard of the Bust Down Challenge?
No.
Okay, a lot of people just went shake my head.
No, it's something I just don't click on these things anymore.
So the Bust Down Challenge is like these girls are in their like pajamas, and then
they go
when
down.
they go down, it's like they're like
I
all.
saw Mia Yim and Keith Lee do it.
Okay, so Dakota Kai is doing one, and it's her in like her PJs, and she's like about to do the drop down, and then when she does it, it cuts to like a like selfie version of a video of Malcolm Bivens' face, and he's like, "What? What'd you think you were gonna see, huh? What'd you think you were gonna see? Come with me. We're gonna watch Scooby Doo," and then puts on Scooby Doo WrestleMania Mystery. And you all must know I love WrestleMania Mystery Scooby Doo. I fucking laughed so goddamn hard at that. So Malcolm Bivens, we already knew he's funnier and needs to be doing more than just this.
I liked what I liked about this is it was a bit different from your usual manager-client relationship. normally we'd see right away that, oh, that was a stupid idea, you shouldn't have done that or whatever. Whereas I liked he was like, okay, not the direction I was going, but we're gonna roll with it. You got this, kid. You got this.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. So Rust facing Reed later tonight, and I'm corrected. It's the Bus It challenge. How could it's using a Nelly song, which is popular again. Okay. I know you love Nelly.
I love Nelly. Yeah.
Some country grammar.
Once I'm finished with this plaster on my finger, I'm putting it on my face.
You put a Band-Aid on your face? Yeah. So we we go to Karrion Kross, who comes out with Scarlett with his epic little entrance here, and he's going up against Ashanti the Adonis, and what you expect happens. It's a bunch of Saito suplexes from Karrion Kross, and then the rolling elbow to the back of the head. Not quite the hidden blade, but the cross blade. It's supposed to be like the Misawa.
It's not even really
Chris
the rolling
Hero.
elbow. It's just a
forearm.
Forearm.
Yeah, it's not rolling or roaring at all. It's just a forearm. And then pins him. Yeah, like, I don't know. I guess I'm happy that he's not in the title picture, or maybe he is and they're just doing this.
I think he is.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think I'm done with him. I think the entrance is cool. I think Scarlett's great. Think he's got a good look, but nothing does it for me when it comes to the ring. Even these squashes I don't find entertaining. Like I think someone like a Lance Archer on AEW, and he's by nowhere near one of my favorites, but you watch him in a squash match, it's pretty fun because he's just fucking throwing these guys around. And I'm like, the Saito suplex looks fine. This forearm to the back of the head looked like he just pushed him over.
Yeah.
It didn't look... You see Ospreay do the hidden blade, and I've been seeing it for, 2 years now? A year, maybe? Every time, my heart's in my mouth, because I think he's just killed someone.
With the elbow.
And this just looks weak.
And he's a much scarier looking guy.
He's a scary looking guy than flippy Will Ospreay, you know?
Yeah. And
I just don't... There's not enough punch or snap on any of his moves for me to really take him as this killer. I'm kind of gearing in that direction. Every time I see him, it's like it's going away more. I want to be proven wrong, because this looks like a guy who could be on your main roster and
be a star. Huge star.
And if he can put on great matches, awesome. But if you're not, and you've not proved it right now, sure, the injury held you back, but these squashes aren't entertaining, and I enjoy a good squash match here and there.
Yeah, after the match, he puts Ashanti in the straight jacket, the cross jacket, and this writes him out of the Dusty Classic, apparently, allegedly. That's what I've heard now.
He took out Desmond Troy as well.
Yeah, sorry, he took out his buddy there. So this team has been taken out. So there is a potential open slot in the Dusty Classic because of Karrion Kross. So yeah, this was just there for me. I want to see this guy do good, but so far it's like, maybe what do you do with him? I need to see him put on like a banger of a match to get
me too.
I think everyone in his corner again. We have a video for MSK. Who is MSK? We are MSK. And it shows them, they're kind of going for that treehouse vibe.
Yeah, so they're in the ring that they've been doing interviews and things like that in, but kind of dim lights. I think, were the ropes green as well?
The lights behind them were green.
Lights were green.
Because of weed. You get it? Marijuana.
Yeah.
Marijuana smoking kids. MSK.
Right. Yeah, that's what they're going for, the treehouse thing. They're doing Borat impressions.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we talk about Borat 2 at all on the show?
I think we covered Borat 2.
Yeah, it was good, but
it was good, but again, that seems like a long time
ago.
Oh
yeah, you're right.
It's just the references. Come on.
Yeah, the synagogue scene though in Borat 2.
It's a good film. I enjoyed it. There was good stuff.
The rest of it, yeah, but that's one particular. MSK doing Borat impressions. I want Austin Powers impressions now. That's always goes over.
Just date it even more.
Yeah. I never get mad at Austin Powers references, and I never get mad at Wayne's World references. That's something I love. They should do that, because that's kind of like the stoner, like bro-y thing. I don't know what they're going for still. That's the problem I have right now. They changed their names, which whatever. I'll get over it. But it's kind of like they're ripping off their own thing, but not doing as good job as what they used to do.
It's week one, to be fair.
Yeah,
and this was showing highlights of their matches as well. I think maybe you do too much right away, and it can be a bit jarring. So I think they're easing you in. Kind of, remember these guys? They won last week. They're in this.
Yeah.
snapshot of a little bit of their personality.
Because sorry, his name is now Nash Carter.
Yeah.
Wentz. He definitely is like the funny kind of mouthpiece, and I think he can.
He's
go
the one
with
that can act as well.
Yeah. Wesley
is a bit bland, but does really flashy stuff. So I think they'll work together really well as a team.
MSK say this is everything to them, coming here to the WWE NXT and being in this tournament, and they're going to go all the way.
You know what I realized though, and this is just a bigger picture, and we're not going to get too much into independent contracts and that kind of thing, but watching this like little vignette here, so close to the Malcolm Bivens thing, I'm going, man, these guys all need agents. They're performers. That I like. When I acted, that's exactly what you are. You're an independent contractor, and you have an agent to look through your contracts and make sure you're getting paid the right amount and knowing your worth and that kind of thing. Just in wrestling in general, you would think these guys should have one. Like, everyone should have their own agent. Because I'm looking at these guys' names, and I'm like, I bet your money's not great in NXT. You've got these stupid names. And just watching this so close to Malcolm Bivens, who I'm like, oh, actually, you do remind me of a talent agent. That is the vibe I'm getting from a Malcolm Bivens.
So you're thinking it's all a swerve?
No, it was something that was made a bit more obvious to me, looking how these guys are presented, looking at their new names, and just seeing the character of Malcolm Bivens, who to me does remind me of an actual talent agent.
So we need Malcolm Bivens or Robert Stone or
just to go
Matt Hardy.
Go legit and actually start being agents for these guys.
Maybe not Matt Hardy.
No.
Yeah. He showed up on Impact, though.
He did.
Crazy.
He's back.
Oh, man. It's just nuts.
This is why I do the Impact show with other people, not Braden.
It's crazy. So crazy. Wrestling, Jesus, wild. MSK, look, we're shitting on them again 2 weeks in a row, but we know that they're eventually going to be like names. What is it? Name stays?
I wasn't even shitting on them.
You're like, these guys have shitty names. Then it's
no,
like,
I'm
yeah,
saying they need agents. They all need agents.
So the storyline is Malcolm Bivens goes, guys, why did you change your names? You guys are great. Let's fix this.
Well, just look at Shah Samuels on NXT UK, who's like, he was introduced as a different name, and then mid-match, he's like, no, I'm fucking Shah Samuels. That's my name.
Oh, okay. Yeah, more people should do that.
Shot in the Dark every Wednesday at noon.
We have Mercedes Martinez and Toni Storm. They have a video here, and they're basically trash-talking their opponents. I forgot who they're talking about.
Kacy Catanzaro and Kayden Carter.
They say, stay off TikTok. Go back to TikTok. Sorry. Don't stay off TikTok. They say, go back to TikTok with your TikTok videos, and you're not going all the way. You're not even going to make it past us. We're going to beat you. And Toni ends with her new, I guess, catchphrase. Okay.
Yeah, this didn't particularly work for me. I think Mercedes, unfortunately, she's kind of got the same thing as Shayna Baszler, where her voice doesn't really fit her look. And there's nothing you can really do about it. I just don't find she sounds particularly intimidating. And I still haven't quite bought Toni Storm in this character yet. That being said, I was looking forward to the match because I think Mercedes especially is great, and looking forward to see the tag tournament start off. But yeah, this was pretty basic, and then let's show that we know what's going on in the world and talk about TikTok. WWE.
Is Toni Storm on TikTok?
I don't have TikTok.
Me neither, but I might have to get it. Lucha House Party come out to take on Imperium for the Dusty Classic. On paper, this sounds like it'll be nuts. Spoiler alert, it's nuts.
Yeah.
This is crazy. So, Lucha House Party, Gran Metalik, and Lince Dorado, who still rocking that. I had to pull out my Raptors jersey today because Lince Dorado wears this crazy Raptors-inspired gear. It's so hot. And Imperium here, of course, you're seeing some crazy Hurricane Ranas from Gran Metalik. He then stands on the shoulders of his own partner, Lince, to hit like a splash off the top of this.
Crazy.
Like, what?
We've seen this kind of move before, going on the shoulders. I don't think I've seen it with the guy then walking.
It's
because they do it from the corner, and was it to Bartel?
Yeah.
He like walks halfway across the ring to dump him. It looked so crazy.
Like, I remember Big Show and Jericho maybe used to do it.
Yeah.
Like, obviously Rey Mysterio and any big guy, but seeing just two luchadors here like doing this
same size,
yeah,
kind of as
it
well.
looked really impressive. Eichner comes back with a backbreaker on Gran Metalik, and then the Imperium hit their like double drive-by upside down drop kick move in the corner, but Grand Metalik hits this crazy springboard stunner type move, and then when they come back from picture in picture, there's Lindsay who hits this tornado DDT. There's then this double jump moonsault into the ring from Grand Metalik. When Lindsay's tagged back in, he gets caught into this wheelbarrow DDT double team from Imperium. There's then a double team from Lucha House Party, which is like a top rope drop kick into an assist into the Code Red. Like what?
Oh yeah, so kind of. I can't remember. Was it Lindsay going for?
No, it's Lindsay. Lindsay has Fabian in like almost halfway to hit the Code Red.
Yes,
but it's
and mentally drop kicks to kind of finish the rotation.
Yeah, just insane. But it's broken up like at a 2.9 here, and then there's Imperium who do again. They're catching. Eichner catches people in midair into the suplex, and Bartel does the same into like the DVD, and they simultaneously hit the Death Valley Driver and suplex brainbuster lift, but only for a 2 count. There's then Lindsay hitting crazy dive to the outside, and if that wasn't enough, we have Grand Metalik, who then climbs up on the top of the rope, like in the middle of the ropes, and then moonsaults off of that to the outside, and then it's Lindsay up top who hits a beautiful shooting star press, and the Lucha House Party win and go forward in the Dusty Classic Lucha Lit Party. I love these guys.
This was match of the night.
Me. Yeah, for sure.
This was awesome. I think I've made this joke before, but I'm going to say it again. Lucha House Party feels like back at work when the boss goes, "Hey, does anyone want any more shifts?" And these guys are just going, "Yeah, I'll work a few extra days," because they're on everything right now and they're killing it. And finally, like, we get to actually see and enjoy how good these guys are. I think just the pairing of these two luchadors doing insane acrobatics and flips and stuff against the kind of European base smash mouth technical side just gelled together so well. I found this so entertaining.
Yeah, the styles, like it's European style wrestling, kind of their smash mouth. It just
meshed so well. Rather than seeing lucha versus lucha where it sometimes feels a bit too kind of rehearsed and flippy, this was like the only way we can get out of your like grappling is by jumping and flipping and using our speed and then completely trying to ground them the whole time. There was some great stuff where after Eichner hit the brainbuster and I think Bartel with like was it full way slam or a Simone drop or something like that, Bartel does it into the corner and then holds the ropes, so he's almost like caged Grand Metalik in so he can't make the save. Just little things like that in tag wrestling I think makes it feel more like a legitimate sport when you're actually playing defense.
Yeah.
Like trying to break, trying to block these pins.
The Bucks do it a lot.
The Bucks do it a lot. FTR are really good at it, and Imperium do it a bunch too. And I think it's those little details that make it so much more entertaining. I thought this match was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, like Imperium, obviously you'd figure they'd go through just because they've been here a lot longer. But ever since the House Party guys just showed up, they've been killing it. And we put on Raw and we went on Twitch and played some 2K simultaneously, and they showed up and they lost on Monday Night Raw, but then here they're going forward in this tournament. I think they should go like all the way. These guys,
I'd love to see them go further.
They've instantly like rejuvenated this team, and like, yeah, why not? Why don't we have these guys?
I think Kalisto is crazy talented as well, but I think it's actually helped them splitting away from him, because whereas before it was 3 indistinct characters, it was just 3 guys in masks, and sometimes it would be Kalisto with Grand Metalik, sometimes Metalik with Lindsay. You didn't care. You were just, it's 2 of Lucha House Party going at it. Now I'm starting to see them more as individuals, as Lindsay and Grand Metalik, and they're the focus, and they feel more of a tag team. Big fan.
Yeah, and it was kind of an upset. It's not seeing it. Everyone saw the brackets and thought where it was going, and now we're not going to see that. So it's interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I think we should keep these guys. Can we keep them? Huh, Paul? Uncle Paul? Can we keep these guys?
Well, we've got them for at least one more week.
Yeah, I mean, they should go on and go on. I really like this. Crazy lucha stuff, but also from Imperium. Like, I would watch this match over and over again. After the match, though, as Imperium are leaving after their loss, Alexander Wolf comes out, and he stands on the ramp, And then they all do their pose, and he's back. They're like, whoa, Alexander Wolf is back from the UK here in NXT, which is that like the step one of bringing over the kingpin of Imperium, Walter?
Well, I mean, we need to have that match against Finn at some point, don't we?
Walter versus Finn, and they're both champions.
They're both
They
champions
should fight now.
I feel this is possibly a step towards getting Walter over. I mean, I don't know what quite the whole quarantine thing and all that is. It still might be to someone like Walter who be like, no, I'd rather chill. Because I think if you go in there, you're packing up and moving,
right? Essentially.
And Wolf has already been in Florida for a while before.
Okay.
So might be fine going back. I don't know. But yeah, interesting that Wolf is back.
Yeah, I want to see more of Imperium in this group, but obviously I think we all want to see Walter kind of tied up with Balor. That's definitely the match. Maybe like the Worlds Collide down the line, champion versus champion of NXT UK. That's take my money, please. I just want Walter. After I've kind of checked out some of the NXT UK stuff, just his matches essentially, and I'm like, man, you're so good.
How many more kind of dream matches are there for him down there?
Yeah, exactly.
1 or 2.
Yeah,
maybe.
And it sucks because he's like the only guy over there. But they got they got Mustache Mountain.
Just do Walter Ben Carter while you can, and then ship him over.
Make Carter champ, and pull a fast one. Make a guy and send Walter over here, and he has so many fresh things. Walter should be one of the main guys in WWE.
I would think we get the Ilya rematch. I feel that that's something that definitely has a rematch in it, and I'd love to see them actually try and do that on a takeover proper.
Yeah,
I think that's something the like American audience should see.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah,
I want to see that in my NXT here. We have they must have listened to us, we talked about weigh-ins.
Oh yeah,
last week. Well, here's a weigh-in for the Fight Pit. They got it like an MMA style with all the flash photography going on, all the press covering this big fight feel here. Ciampa weighing in at 201 pounds, and Timothy Thatcher 225. Weight advantage and reach advantage, they tell us. The tail of the tape here. And they show these two kind of getting in each other's face here during the weigh-in, ready for the Fight Pit. So totally treating it like Fight Island, UFC.
Yes.
We just need a video like Dana White.
I love it. I think as we said last week,
not Dana White's video. No.
But for Fight Pit, I want this kind of presentation. And it felt like press was there. There was a lot of snapping, photographs and stuff. I like this.
See, Walter in a Fight Pit?
Oh, my word.
See? Yeah. We have William Regal.
Walter Thatcher in a Fight Pit?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Bravo. We have William Regal and Beth Phoenix on the entrance ramp here in front of the Dusty Cup. And they are talking about the history and evolution of NXT and the women's division, women's wrestling. And they show basically this slideshow of all the women who've come through NXT and are now like champions and superstars on main roster, and just basically a little rundown memory lane of NXT women's division. And this is where it's got really WWE for me. It's like, hey, this is all the stuff we do, like history. It's like, come on, you don't have to.
It's like giving food to a homeless person, but getting your mate to film you do it.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just what it feels like. And I think at this point now, don't get us wrong, we want to see this. We want to see a lot of women's wrestling.
Yeah.
But I think shouting it out from the rooftops every time, we've already had women main event WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's kind of about as big as it gets, apart from just more women's matches on a card. But the women have already main evented WrestleMania. Why are we making out like a tag tournament is history? This pales in comparison. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it seems weird to be patting yourself on the back about it. I think you could still do something like this, like a video package showing, like they did I thought it was great seeing all these women who've been in NXT who are doing fantastic stuff now.
Yeah.
It's just, it's history. It's
like, come on, it's amazing. It's great. Look at all the stars. NXT women's wrestling has been great. It's so much fun. They main event often. It's great. People are coming here, and this is where they show the lights turn on, and behind them are all these participants in the Dusty Classic. So we got a bunch of teams here, including the new signees. They're there. The Goth Bays. They're there. We see Ember Moon. We see all the teams. Candice LeRae. Basically, like the whole like women's roster here in NXT, kind of paired up as tag teams, and saying this is the start of this tournament here with all these women involved. And I like that part where it's like the lights turn on, they're all there. Whoa, great, awesome. So I'm super stoked, and we start off with a match from this tournament, the Women's Dusty Cup, the Women's Dusty Classic. Kacy Catanzaro going up against and Kayden Carter, the tag team, Kacy and Kayden, going up against Mercedes Martinez and Toni Storm. Are you doing the back-to-back?
Doing the Kacy and Kayden back-to-back
back-to-back pose. Kayden Carter and Toni Storm tie up in the beginning here, and eventually Kacy's in with a tope atomico senton there. There's Mercedes who gets Kacy up in like a suplex lift, and then in midair catches her and turns it into like a Davie Boy power slam type move. It looked great. We thought it was a jackhammer at one point.
It was kind of, yeah.
Mercedes is a beast. We go to commercial, but when we come back, Mercedes hits a belly to belly, and then Toni hits her ass attack in the corner. There's then a Rana off the top rope from Kacy as she counters Mercedes there, which gains them advantage. Carter tags in, hits a drop kick splash, like 2-for-1 combo here. And then Kacy Catanzaro hits this corkscrew plancha to the outside, looking nuts. And we have Carter and Storm who are beating each other up. Storm headbutts her and German suplexes her for a 2 count, and then locks her in a single leg crab. And as Mercedes is about to break it up, Io Shirai shows up and takes out Mercedes, like lays her out on top of the table there and just beats the shit out of her. And then we see Kayden Carter, who now has Toni Storm just stuck in the ring alone, puts her in this like twisting like Indian deathlock type move, keeping Toni down. Kacy Catanzaro tags in here, goes up top, and Kacy Catanzaro hits a Kacy Phoenix double moon.
Yeah, what was this?
Corkscrew moonsault double
Phoenix
senton.
Splash into a senton, I think.
A Kacy shit.
I'm calling it the WTF because I don't think anyone knows what the fuck this was. It looked ridiculous. I don't know if it's what she meant to do or not. If she didn't mean to do this and meant something else, try and do this again.
Do a double moon.
This was nuts.
A twisting double moon.
Just blew up Twitter
earlier.
Yeah.
Holy. Go look at this up if you haven't
If you're
seen
just
this.
listening, watch this.
You had to have seen
watch
this.
the finish because this is... I've never seen anything like this. It was crazy.
I know there's ties between her and Ricochet.
Yeah.
And we've seen Ricochet in NXT do the double moon. And I guess she picks up some tricks from old Rick. Rick's tricks
I guess.
with this double moon business. What is going on with this move?
This was nuts.
Kacy Catanzaro hitting this. Yeah, she moonsaults, but while she's moonsaulting, she corkscrews and then double flips. Double moons.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What the fuck
It's
is
crazy.
right? Yeah, the WTF by Kacy Catanzaro.
I think that's what it's got to be called.
Well, Kayden and Kacy win the match and go forward in the Dusty Classic. Wow.
The match was fine the end was absolutely nuts. I just really liked the booking of this. It made sense. I think we've been saying about how in these tournaments we want to see the actual established tag teams go through. And when we look at the brackets here and we see Kacy and Kayden against Mercedes and Toni Storm, although Kacy and Kayden are the established tag team, I think you look and you go, well, it's going to be Mercedes and Toni because they're more established characters. And both of them have been talking shit about Io. So it made sense. Io comes out, fights them both, and then
Io looked great.
You have the actual tag team win. Yeah, Io looked a badass. You've now furthered that feud, which I assume we're going to get some multi-woman match or something for the title. And your actual established tag team go over, but by looking awesome, by doing this crazy move.
Okay, I'm watching this gif of this move again, and Shawn Michaels is like, how many flips was that? He tweeted. But like, corkscrew double moonsault, I guess what you could call this. Just crazy.
It's crazy.
She kind of just lands on her own back, like flops.
It ends as a senton. I mean, looks painful. Tony's lying there just like, what is coming towards me?
Yeah, just insane. I don't know what we're calling it. The WTF indeed. These people are in the chat are saying the cat and arrow, like the black arrow.
Okay.
The Catanzaro Or sorry, the Catanzaro Whoa. Yeah. Geez, this move was nuts. How many flips, indeed. So many flips. So Kacy and Kayden are super excited. Just a little later on, they come in getting interviewed, and they're like rallying with their towels, all hyped up, like woo! And they get interviewed, and they just have like one thing to say, and that's, "We're gonna win the whole thing. We're winning this whole damn thing." And they go on to celebrate.
I wouldn't mind to see a dark horse team like them just go all the way, because they've been there a while now.
Yeah.
It feels like a couple of years since the Mae Young Classic when they've come in, and I think it would be cool to have who are you? Well, it's Asuka and Charlotte, your champions right now. They still haven't said what the winner gets apart from the trophy.
It's got to be a title
I
shot.
hope they get a title shot.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It seems daft otherwise.
Yeah, so looking forward to seeing where they go down the line, and I want to see more flippy shit from Kacy Catanzaro. She's crazy. Finn Balor is looking for William Regal, and he finds him. He says, I got a lot of enemies. I got enemies. Got a lot of enemies. He says, I'm going to cut off their legs and their arms. I'm not joking. That's what he said. I'm going to cut off their legs.
He wants the match against Dunn, but is like, first I want to take off the legs and arms before taking off the head. And the legs and arms are Burch and Oney. And he wants them both just by himself.
I'm going to cut off their arms.
And then Regal goes,
Cut off their
hey,
legs.
well, I can't let you do that. You're a champ and you just got hurt. I'm not putting you up against two mates. You gotta get your own mate.
You gotta find a friend. And he says, I don't got friends.
I don't have any friends, not anymore. That was the old Finn Balor.
That's what he
The
said.
old Finn Balor had friends. Yo, Finn was intense tonight.
What was going on
What was
with
on
Finn?
with Finn? He's had a bad week or something.
Fucking hanging out with
'Cause
Toni Storm.
He was just so dark and brooding the whole time. It's, you know, when after the summer holidays, when someone comes back and they're just, you notice a change.
Yeah.
They've just changed. Something happened over the summer.
Yeah.
That was Finn here. Like,
I don't know
know
what
he's
was
been
going on.
going down this intense note, but I don't have any friends.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the promos tonight, honestly. So many people were cutting these weird
Just-
things.
I think just pull it back a bit, maybe.
Guys.
It was a lot from Finn here.
I loved it. Like, I love and hate it, I guess. But he says, I don't have any friends. And Regal says, well, maybe you should keep your enemies closer. And I guess we can assume he means Kyle O'Reilly. Hopefully. We'll see. We have Ciampa. He's backstage. He's getting ready for his fight pit. He's getting prepared. It's like a backstage, like MMA training, getting the tape on, getting ready for his fight. We have... this is where we saw Kacy and Kayden. But now we go to Bronson Reed, who's getting ready for his match against Rust. But he's met backstage by Swerve. Isaiah Scott here. He says, hey, good luck in your match tonight, but don't ever enter my business again. But good luck. Cheers.
I quite actually liked how they showed this, like in silence before the
Yeah.
commercial, and then they were like, hey, we needed to go back and actually hear what Swerve said then.
Swerve is in a suit.
I love this look for Swerve. I
fly.
think he pulls off the suit really well and just comes across as this kind of slimy dick just hanging around backstage, making enemies. I like it.
Yeah. I like it too. He's definitely becoming this heel character, and he's got to like flip the switch.
working for him.
Flip the switch eventually. Bronson Reed versus Tyler Rust with Malcolm Bivens. Beth Phoenix says, Swerve better be careful. You should know better than to step on Godzilla's tail. See, Beth is all right here. I like Beth here. I think she's better when she's in the actual environment. We have a gut buster from Reed early on, and then lifts him up deadlift style, but then it's like an inverted fall away slam. And then while this match is happening, we go backstage because there's a fight breaking out between like all sorts of, is it Io Shirai,
Io,
Storm?
Tony, and Mercedes.
Everyone's fighting. It's chaos and anarchy, cats and dogs living together. Back to the match. There's a choke bomb, like Uranagi style, like turning around by Bronson Reed, but Rust kicks out at 2. Bronson's up top for the splash, but Rust gets up and hits him with a pump kick, and then like uses the ropes, the turnbuckle, to help him Samoan drop Reed, which he's a lot bigger than him, and does that, but it's only 2.
Yeah, actually some really impressive strength there from Tyler Rust.
Yeah, looked crazy, but Reed kicks out, and then it's basically Reed who Rust is going for his finisher, which is like the party foul, I don't know, cutter thing, but Bronson just swats him away, and the guy does the flip anyways, and then he picks him up, he drops him down, and then goes up top, hits the tsunami splash, and Reed pins Rust.
I liked Way's call with the tsunami.
Yeah.
Like the tsunami.
Yeah.
As he lands.
It's over. I thought this was a little bit of a squash match, but I love Reed.
It was a squash, but gave enough to Rust that can continue his story, like showing off that impressive strength, being able to lift Bronson. It showed that Bronson is a league above him, which is great because he is, and Bronson is a feature. But with Rust, with this Malcolm Bivens thing, and as Malcolm Bivens is saying on the way out, it's like, it was just a stumbling block.
Okay.
We can work on this.
It's okay, man.
And it's like, yeah, I'm watching that, and yeah, you picked him up. That was impressive, but we got to work on this, and this. I think the loss actually worked, and they did this pretty well. Before we move on, what are your thoughts on Bronson Reed's cuddly toy on his shoulder?
Okay, we've seen it like in entrances, but now we kind of saw it more up close in that. Yeah, I love it and hate it. Like, I love it and I hate it.
I'm yet to decide. So for those who didn't see, he's wearing this jacket,
The skyline.
with the skyline, which looks cool. But then on his shoulder, he's got
Godzilla.
like, stuck on a Godzilla cuddly toy
That goes around his shoulders, but on one side looks like a miniature like Godzilla face on his side of his head.
I'll have to think. Because I think enough is cool already that we already get he's the monster. I don't know if you necessarily need to see a plush toy on his shoulder.
It's more so like go with gear that's inspired by Godzilla, like skin color, like fins or gills and stuff. More so than just putting a little Godzilla and buildings on your gear. It's
something for sure. Like down the line, main roster, this is something I could totally see being sold at a WrestleMania.
This looks like Keith Lee's.
You know,
Godzilla.
Did like they clearly listened, Braden. He changed his singlet because remember he was wearing the skull and crossbone, which is very like Legado del Fantasma's emblem. Yeah. So I'm glad he changed that.
He looked his gear, his in-ring gear, gear looks good. I like this guy.
Not convinced by the jacket yet, but we'll see. I do like this guy.
I'm excited for Godzilla versus King Kong, the new one coming out. It's the rematch of the century. Oh, they're putting it out on. It's supposed to be in theaters, but they're gonna put it out on whatever.
Why? Like.
Well, it's not going to come out anytime soon. Like, they're just going to put it out.
But do you want to... Like, I don't want to watch a film like that on the TV.
Yeah, true.
If I'm going to see Godzilla versus King Kong, I want a big screen to see that on. Yeah. And I'll wait. I can't say I'm particularly in any rush to see Godzilla King Kong. But it's one I'd go like, yeah, I'll watch that in the theaters.
Yeah. I think Godzilla's got him this time.
You think he's got him?
Yeah. Should I bet on it?
Did he lose the first one?
I think they fought a few times. I could be wrong. But... Yeah, like Reed could definitely do like some inspired. I know Aleister Black in NXT had this gear that was supposed to be like demon-esque.
Oh, things. I know what you mean.
Like go for that style. Yeah. Like go for the textures of
like Drago.
Yeah, exactly. That go for
that could be cool.
Yeah, go for that. Don't just try to put a monster on your shoulder.
Because he's meant to be the monster.
Yeah, you are the monster.
And then he's got his little mate monster on his shoulder.
And it's like, all right, it's like some little Disney sidekick.
Yeah. Mushu. Just hanging out.
Or like the parrot from Aladdin. Yeah, it's something like that, but he's in the right direction. Still.
He is, yeah. I liked this match for both guys.
So, Mackenzie Mitchell's backstage with Finn Balor, and she's like, yo, you need a friend. You don't have any. You said you don't have friends. I'll be your friend. She says, you need a friend. You need a partner. And we go to break, but when we come back, it says this is what happened. And it's Finn Balor going to the locker room of Undisputed Era. And they're like, look what the cat dragged in. And he's like, hey, I need... You owe me one. Basically, I saved you last time, and you owe me one. So if you're not sucking food through a straw anymore...
Finn, have you just lacked... Like,
no wonder you don't have friends.
Have you got tact? It's like, hey, can you help me out? If you're not too busy sucking up food from a straw after I broke your jaw. Come on, dude.
No wonder you don't have friends.
He was also so rude to Mackenzie earlier.
Yeah.
She was like, Finn, where are you going? He's like, where do you think I'm going?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't know, Finn. It's a big building.
So it looks as if Adam Cole was going to step in and be like, I got you. I'll be your partner. But didn't do that.
Yeah, and Roddy, just the wild card, the hot horse, like the hot head, just with his hoodie up. Ready to go.
I'll fight you.
But yeah, I like that this is the direction it's going. Finn and Kyle going to team up to take on Danny and Oney.
Should be for the titles.
I think we're going to get...
Put the titles on the line, cowards.
Sure, why not?
Change it up. The winner of the Dusty Cup gets the title shot. Wow, you get to go up against Danny and Oney. No offense to Danny and Oney, but wouldn't it be hot if you were going up against Kyle and Finn?
Kyle and Finn, yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel we're going to see Kyle Finn 3 at some point.
Fight Pit. But
I feel that's months and months away. But I think they're doing the right thing by keeping them still somehow aligned and tangled with each other. I'm a fan.
Yeah, I'm interested to see that match next week. I think it'll be a banger. We go to Santos Escobar and I forget their name all the time.
Legado del Fantasma.
LDF. Santos in ringside while the two are in the ring as he's walking around with a microphone. He says, a real champ does what he wants when he wants. Not fake champs, not paper champs like Gargano and his curse. Or Finn, who gets injured after every match. Or Karrion Kross. They all lose on their first matches.
They can't defend.
Yeah. You guys suck. You're not real champions. You don't make the cut. And he kind of goes off on Karrion Kross a little bit, which I think will play into something maybe next week. But he says, Karrion Kross, the NXT title was a heavy chip on your shoulder that you couldn't hold up. And I back up every word that I say. Everyone tries to step up and ruin our empire, but I send them packing. They don't do it. And I'm the champions of champions. And we'll all be champions of champions. We're going to win the Dusty Cup, and I'll still be champion, and we'll run this place. And they're interrupted by Lucha House Party, who come down again, hot off their win.
You want me to do a double, guys? Yeah. I'll work a double tonight.
Yeah. Fucking, they heard us raving about their match, and they're like, fuck, we're coming out there again, saving this show. They come out. It's a Lucha brawl, but 3-on-2 here. But someone comes in for the save. Kurt Stallion from 205 Live. In a nice dress shirt, helps out Lucha House Party as they chase off, leaving the three guys staring down the other three guys. And a little later on after that, they announce that it's a match. A little later on, they run into each other backstage, and Santos says to Kurt Stallion, you think you're so tough, you think you're so slick, interrupting our business. Well, you know what? Next week, step up. I'll put the title on the line.
So round 2 of Dusty Classic is Legado del Fantasma versus Lucha House Party. And we've got next week Kurt Stallion finally in NXT.
Yeah.
Heard a lot about this guy.
Yeah.
Heard a lot. Apparently he's challenging this dude.
Well, he's not wearing the headband, but he's got a dress shirt.
He looked like a musician in an orchestra here.
Like
Hans? No, that's the attire.
Just a black shirt.
Black shirt, black trousers.
Yeah.
Your hair slicked back slightly.
You look like a bartender
or
like
a bartender.
A guy at a wedding who works there.
I'm looking forward to the match. I think it's good. We finally get to see Kurt Stallion on TV. Hopefully it's a bit of a banger. I like Santos Escobar as well. I think he looks the part. I think his promo's pretty strong as well. It's just a shame that the dialogue he's using seems to be building up to eventual Jordan Devlin match, which I'm not too interested in seeing, but I think it's something inevitably that's going to happen whilst we have these 2 Cruiserweight championships running around.
They both are saying similar things.
Yeah.
Like, we're the real champion, essentially. So eventually, there's got to be some sort of Worlds Collide show between Finn and Walter and maybe Escobar and Devlin, I guess is where we go. We have Killian Dane and Drake Maverick backstage, and they're being interviewed about the Dusty Cup. And before Dane can step in, Drake steps up and says, 2020 had its ups and downs, but I'm walking in now with a beam of light, a new partner, my partner, and just goes off doing the classic babyface promo, and we're gonna win this damn thing. We're a team, and we're the best team. And then Dane goes, hey, that was all right. That was a pretty good promo, and then slaps him on the back and walks off. And Drake is selling the slap and goes, wait, I still don't have your number, and walks off.
Fantastic.
Wrestling. I mean, they're doing the guys that don't get along, but they do.
They're doing it fine. It's a bit of a more comedy act, not particularly my cup of tea, but I do think Drake is a good performer, and Dane is good at being just the mean, big, moody man.
They're playing their parts.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, are you ready for the main event of the evening? Welcome to the Fight Pit. They give the ring announcer. She has this epic entrance where she says just that. Welcome.
She taken whatever Finn's been on, because she matched him with intensity.
That's what I mean. What was going on?
Welcome to Fight Pit.
They don't drug test in
I don't
NXT.
have any friends either, Finn. Oh.
welcome. I loved it. I was like sucked in.
She's good. I do like her.
Sorry. If we're who is this? I don't know who it is.
Oh,
Yeah, I blanking
on her name.
Yeah, she did a good job here. Good job. Welcome.
Sino.
Yeah, who's the ring announcer for NXT? So everyone's got to start somewhere. So we start off, and it's like the walk-ups. Like
I don't remember them doing this last time. Did they?
The walk-ins.
I don't remember these stairs going to the top. It looked awesome. The way it was lit and everything.
It was what?
Lit.
Yeah. So we get the classic UFC style, MMA style walk-ins where they walk up this like cage thing. Alicia Taylor, that's who it is. Thank you, Sino. There's Sino's like our Jimmy, like Joe Rogan's kind of. Hey Jimmy, pull that up to me. Right. Sino. Hey Sino, you ever do DMT, Sino? Joe Rogan had The Undertaker on this week. That's a must listen, I think. I haven't listened to it yet, but Rogan and Undertaker sounds lit. Pull it up, Jimmy. So Fight Pit, we get the old school walk-ins, and we see Drake is the ref. Drake, not Kurt Angle, but Tan Drake, and it's the Fight Pit, and Vic Joseph says, here are the rules. Like you have to. There's no pinfall. It's submission or knockout only, and it can only take place. The knockout or submission can only take place in the pit, the Fight Pit, that is. What other pit would there be?
Yeah,
The Sarlacc pit? What pit are we talking about? Sarlacc Fight Pit.
Yeah, Vic just with this random pit behind him, I guess.
The Fight Pit. I mean, he's like making sure.
No other pit.
No other pits. Not Brad. No other. Just the Fight Pit. Bless Vic Joseph. I love him. They are fighting up top now. It's a fight pit, but the match starts off and they're fighting like around the ring on this like scaffolding, like old school wrestling here, scaffold match around the ring here, and they're beating the hell out of each other. Thatcher hits a suplex on Ciampa, and it's like wooden like boards covered up with something, but like you can hear the slamming of them whenever they do a move on each other. Ciampa comes back though with like a flying knee to the head and then pushes him into like the post and just kneeing him there. They go to picture in picture, and during this they like both get down into the pit, so the match like officially starts. And when we come back, it's Ciampa who hits him with like a flying knee and another like V triggers here, but it's kind of, they're definitely playing it up like it's a UFC fight. That the camera angles and the way they're rolling around, and like someone mounts the other guy in the fighting and stuff. There's then Thatcher who does like a suplex throw and then a Kimura type submission here. And then, like I mentioned, he gets on top with the full mount, but then like bends Ciampa's fingers and then like slams it down to the mat, and Ciampa just starts screaming in agony. And I was like, wow, I don't think I've ever seen Ciampa scream before. And then that's exactly what Vic Joseph says. He's like, whoa, when have we seen this guy like scream out in agony? Because he's kind of a badass. The ref is now checking on, it's Ciampa who gets hit with that and he's screaming, and then Thatcher locks in the sleeper hold. Ciampa low blows him to get out of it. And as the ref is kind of checking on Thatcher's balls, Ciampa uses the referee to kind of lift up Thatcher as like the ropes in the situation to hit the Willow's bell using the ref, and the ref's like, hey.
It was almost like Evil when
Evil
he does
Uno?
the magic killer.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Uses the ref.
I was gonna say Evil Uno also does referee assisted moves. He makes the guy hold his leg. And
that's
stuff.
right. Yeah.
So he hits the Willow's bell, but he can't pin him, so it's only submission or knockout. They then get back to their feet and they're like just slugging it out. Classic strike fest here, just total like like an MMA fight. But Ciampa gets him in like a guillotine hold and then DDTs him into the cage and then hits the fairy tale ending.
That was cool because we see the classic throwing a guy against the cage and then putting their hands and pretending they hit their head. But this, he had him in that kind of DDT, like bulldog hold.
Gravat.
The Gravat, and just rammed him against the pole. Looked so simple and was probably very safe, but not really seen something like that in a cage. And you're like, oh yeah, that would hurt. That would do it.
It looked great. And then he hits him with the fairy tale ending, but then puts him in his own sleeper hold. So Thatcher now squirming. And the visual here was great, where the camera's on top of them and Thatcher's just reaching out, screaming and being choked out here. But he eventually gets up, lifts Ciampa, and then like turns it around and locks in his own sleeper here. Ciampa gets out of that. Ciampa then gets kind of thrown into the corner where the cage, there's a little hole, a little gap in between where the cages kind of meet on each side of the ring. Ciampa's like wedged in between there. As he's there, Thatcher kind of pulls him out of it, but while he does, he grabs his leg. Ciampa's now like upside down. Thatcher locks in a stretch muffler, the Brock lock to some.
It's always the Brock lock to me.
It's the stretch muffler.
And both are great names.
Yeah, he's got it locked in, but then he does like this thing where he like cups his hands together like a full Nelson or other submission holds here, making the like intensity of this move way more like the bend, just bending Ciampa upside down, gripping him here, and Ciampa is forced to tap out. Timothy Thatcher is undefeated in the fight pit.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's good to see a guy have a match that's his, that he actually wins.
Yes. The Undertaker didn't win a lot of cells back in the day.
No, like, well, Foley never won a cell. And he was like, it's my match. I'll put my career on the line. Put me in a cell. It's like, why? You're not good at them. This was great. I think I preferred their first match more.
Right.
I didn't quite get enough actual sort of wrestling MMA from it. They got a bit more towards the end, but I think it's just the nature of it being kind of commercial in the middle and all that sort of stuff.
Once you put a commercial in, it killed. There wasn't that much time.
No.
And it took a chunk of it out. So it's like, well, like if you're going long, I get it, and they did, but it bums it out when it's.
They didn't have a huge overrun either. It was a couple of minutes, it felt, but not too much. I think I preferred the Matt Riddle one as well because that did have a bit more of that MMA style.
Had Kurt Angle.
That being said, there was some really cool stuff in this.
This was still awesome.
There was still some really cool stuff. I just thought the overall package of the first one I preferred, and I think I preferred their singles match over this.
Yeah, I think so too. I still really enjoyed this. I loved the whole setup, the way with the flash photography earlier, the way in the setup, the walk-ups, everything felt awesome. It felt visually great. The shots were great. The lighting was great. And it's like you can kind of get away with the stuff during a pandemic because there's no crowd here, where it might be not so good with the crowd because they can't really see.
Yes.
But it looks great. I like the idea of it. I want to see
the presentation's brilliant for this, I think.
Yeah, it looks awesome. And it was two like rough dudes, two badasses here, and Ciampa kind of having his hair grown out. Kind of looking like the old shoveler from Home Alone haircut.
Okay,
there.
yeah.
But it looks good because he's like the grizzled young vet essentially here. And both of them like duking it out. I think I would have just wanted to see it was getting going and then it like ended.
Yeah, I think you could have maybe shaved a bit of time off elsewhere and started this a bit earlier in the night.
I think so. Yeah, it needed to go a little bit longer to get more of a story. I get the story, but it was a little rushed.
They did kind of the respect angle at the end.
Yes.
And what I think's great about this now is Timothy Thatcher's a guy who his win-loss record isn't the best, but the fact he's undefeated in Fight Pit, you can now, whenever you're ready to make him be the challenger, you've got this. Do you know what I mean?
Fight Pit.
It's eventually if it's we're gonna do Thatcher versus Finn for the title, and you go, oh, Thatcher's lost a bunch. You suddenly make it Fight Pit, you're interested because you go, well, Thatcher's never lost at Fight Pit, you know. So I think it's a great tool for him, and it should kind of. I think it should just be kept his match for a while.
The Fight Pit.
I want to see people in the room are going off like Kyle O'Reilly. I think we said last time we'd love to see him Fight Pit.
Kyle O'Reilly in a Fight Pit.
Yeah, I think Finn, as I just mentioned, would be cool. Volta, if we ever get him over there, that would be great in a Fight Pit. But I think for now it should stick as Timothy Thatcher's match.
Godzilla versus King Kong in a Fight Pit.
Is Thatcher King Kong?
Anyone in this Fight Pit sounds great. Just put someone in a Fight Pit and treat it like. In fact, the next time they do it, I want more of the build up. I don't want it just in some back closet room with the flash photography. I want it even bigger.
Yeah, I feel they could have had more.
Get Kurt Angle again. Get another. I want Shamrock, but he's busy in another company, I think. Just get MMA influenced people and do this, and it would go off. It made sense because of Riddle being in the UFC and stuff and whatever, but getting someone like Kurt Angle as the ref or something, like, it would just be an extra thing.
It's definitely something that you could build over a couple of weeks and having, watching them trying to cut. Why? There's no weight. But fuck it. It's wrestling. Who cares?
Because we shat on Darby and Cage weigh-in, and then they went on to have a great match. It's like they didn't need to have a weigh-in. It didn't matter. Whereas this one, it's story, like with this fight thing, it makes sense to have a weigh-in with the photographers and stuff. It's funny. It looks great. I want to see more of that down the line. And it seems to be they're a tag team now. because there's an open slot in the Dusty Cup.
Oh, possibly.
So
they did the respect thing.
Yeah, I think that's where these guys slide in and could potentially win the whole damn thing. Because they're the two guys that, like, the issue was Ciampa was just kind of being a dick. And Thatcher's like, well, I'm a dick, and now we're both just two assholes, and we're going to beat everyone.
I guess that makes sense. Poor Ashanti, but I'd rather Ciampa and Thatcher in there, yeah.
And then when they get to the finals, they go fight pit. Tag team fight pit.
So have you got the brackets? Let's have a little...
I don't know. Definitely pull these up.
Yeah, let's get the brackets.
Yeah, but overall, I really enjoyed the fight pit. I think it's an interesting take on some pro wrestling here. It's something different. Like, it's kind of like the Lion's Den match from back in the day. It's all that cool stuff. But I'd say that match was my match of the night. But honestly, I really love that tag team match with the Lucha House Party.
Okay, so Adonis and Troy are apparently out.
Yeah.
So if you're saying Ciampa and Thatcher, that means they'll face Nice and Davie in the first round.
Okay.
They're in the same side.
They're in this thing?
And then they go on to face Cole and Strong in round 2.
Okay.
I'm trying to look who the contenders are on the other side. And probably... You know what? On the other side, it's probably Lucha House Party or MSK. Looking at the other side.
Okay.
You've got MSK, Maverick and Dane, Stallion and Gray, Imperium out, Lucha House Party, Legado del Fantasma, and Bollywood Boys.
Wow.
So I would see MSK or Lucha House Party making the finals.
All right, that's who it could be. Lucha House Party versus Ciampa and Thatcher.
That's it. We've got it.
Book it. And then they'll do the documentary on Grand Metalik.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
They listen. We did actually put up a poll. Thank you to Mike Hogan, who's been helping us out along with John Cena on the socials.
Thank you.
Put up a poll asking what your favorite match of the night was. I think we're both saying Imperium versus Lucha House Party.
Yeah, I want to say I really enjoyed the fight pit. I did think the Riddle one was a bit more explosive. Maybe it was the first one, and Kurt Angle, obviously. But I still really liked it. I'd say check it out. It was pretty fun, nitty gritty. But that tag team match was fire, yo.
Yeah. Well, you guys spoke, and Fight Pit won. Fight Pit was your match of the night.
I liked both. Like, honestly, they were really good. I thought this was a great episode of NXT.
I really enjoyed this. I thought bell to bell, the matches were really entertaining. All the segments kind of backstage are progressing the story along. I think NXT has been quietly pretty good the last few weeks. Since we had our moan, Braden.
All it took was us to really shit on NXT one week.
Yeah.
Just have a bad week, and everyone was like, you guys are negative.
They're like, oh, the NXT's biggest fans don't like us anymore.
These guys
they're talking about the other channel.
I thought...
What did they want? Lucha House Party. Cool, they've got him.
What did they say? Lucha House Party. Who's Grand Metalik? Do we got him?
They want to weigh in? Put it on. Put it on.
Fatal 4-way Iron Man match? Yeah, let's just take that idea, too. All the things. They listen. And hey, you know what? Maybe you are listening and you're involved in the show and somehow, and we just we love this show, and that's why we continue to talk about it, and we're honest, and we like to critique and give our thoughts on everything. I think we're pretty fair.
Sino in the chat room's suggesting as well for that empty slot, maybe brand new signee Anthony Henry could call up his mate JD Drake.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
I do like those two. They're pretty good.
Yeah, so I guess they realized AEW, and we haven't watched AEW yet, and we'll be talking about it tomorrow, 1 o'clock, on Twitch and stuff. But I feel like they're going to be... I saw that they're going to be doing a tag team tournament of some capacity, too. So it's interesting seeing NXT, seeing AEW is going elsewhere for talent. So they decided to do it, too. And everyone wants to work for WWE, I would imagine, right? So it's like, it's got to be hard to say no to that, but I'm definitely excited with some of these new signings. Looks great. But here's talk about AEW on that show. Let's go to some feedback. We talked about NXT and what we thought, but forum.postwrestling.com. You post up questions and comments on the post forum. We'll read it here on the show. I'll start with my man Chris Elliott. He says, "What the fuck was that finisher by Kacy?"
Exactly. WTF.
I've seen some insane shit over the years, but that was crazy. You want to get the world's attention, you pull something off like that. Now she needs to maintain that attention. The main event was great, and the right man won. Just a shame BT don't show us in picture, so we never knew how they got down off the platform. Wow. You don't see picture-in-picture when they... Wow. So you've missed some, like...
To be honest, guys,
shit.
like, I switch off during P&P.
Me too.
I don't know how they got down from the platform.
They walked down.
I think they just were like, do you want to take this to the pit?
How did Luke Skywalker kick Boba Fett into the pit? He just... It didn't touch him, though, barely.
It was Boba's jetpack fucked up.
Oh,
didn't
that's what it
Got
was. Yeah.
shot
He
in the
kicked
jetpack.
someone else.
We go to Hackman. That reminded me of when Slim J would climb to the top and rotate along all 3 axes on the way down onto his opponent on NWA Wildside back in the 1990s. I think talking about Kacy Catanzaro's
Yes, clearly.
finisher.
Everyone wants to talk about that.
I'm going to continue with Mystery,
Yeah.
because that was a quick one. Karrion Kross still sucks. I'm sorry, as much as I meme about Thatcher, he's still more interesting than Kross. That move by Kacy was absolutely insane. Loved it. Io returning and picking a fight with almost everyone who has crossed her is great, and now I want to see her hold on to the title for a while longer, especially after what happened on Raw this past week. More on that in my question of the week. She should remain in NXT. Thatcher winning sort of surprised me, but I digress. Finish was cool though. Question of the week. How do you guys feel about Asuka being completely squashed and having none of her offense sold by Alexa Bliss this week on Raw? Do you think it did severe damage to her? If so, would you have her come back to NXT full-time and feud with the women there? Maybe even Io, similar to what Finn did when he got squashed by The Fiend, because I would love that and find it almost impossible that she will recover the near burial she got on Monday.
Never recover. Yeah.
I think she'll be fine. I think the problem is with The Fiend, Alexa Bliss, it's just this this black hole people get sucked into whenever they're feuding with them. There's nothing you can really do, and it sucks. I think Asuka's fine. It's main roster WWE. They don't think you pay attention. So
it's weird.
Next week they could have Asuka beat Brock Lesnar if they wanted. Like
Book it.
You don't remember
Fight
what
Pitt.
happened last week. That's the way they see it. She's currently women's champion and tag champion.
Yeah.
I
didn't see it like that. I didn't see it. We had it on while we were just twitching and 2King and stuff. So I actually watched Raw, guys. I watch Raw sometimes. Technically, kind of sometimes. We're playing in gaming stuff, but watching that was so shit. That was so bad. What the fuck was going on?
Front runner for worst of the year.
Yeah,
so far.
already. Like,
please remind me. Remind me when it comes to December.
Yeah.
Be like, Davie, you hated that.
Yeah, I'll remind you. It's most likely your worst segment of the
Yes.
year. I actually thought it was so shit. I didn't understand. I don't like this Alexa Fiend thing, and I think it's not working. It looks so terrible. It's so hokey. It's so camp. Oh, can't stand it. But you did say here, Mystery, that, hey, what if Asuka comes to NXT? I don't see it happening, but imagine Asuka versus Io in WWE programming.
The only thing I see it for is to defend the tag titles.
Sure.
That's the only thing I see it for. I think Io versus Asuka is something that will happen eventually, but I don't think we're going to see a singles run from Asuka in NXT, personally.
Just why are there so many talk shows in wrestling?
Oh, there's
What's
so
with
many
talk shows in wrestling?
What's with talk shows in
I
wrestling?
don't get it. We go to our next bit of feedback from Frank, Fire Frank. He says, now this is the NXT we know and love. Couple of awesome tag matches. Lucha House Party Imperium was ultra lucha lit and my match of the night. Some upsets, cool moves. What was that Kacy move? Stallion finally showing up and is claiming his shot. And the fight pit. More action, less talk. Seeing the fresh signees to the women's roster was cool. Good to see Thatcher get a big win and now his signature match. Wonder what's next for him and Ciampa. Cool Kyle and the Prince, the dream team we needed. I love they are setting up stuff for next week. The Dusty Cups have given some extra focus there as well. Things are looking up here in the CWC. 8 chat is fires out of 10. Zaya might have bumped it to a 9. I think Zaya saw that Kacy Catanzaro move and was like, you know what, maybe I'll fight next week.
I think it's good to rest it for a bit.
Yeah.
We go to Crooked Letter 9. Kacy Catanzaro gave us a gift-worthy... Is that what you just read?
No, I'm just laughing. Okay. Everyone's going off on Kacy.
Kacy Catanzaro gave us a gift-worthy treat with her performance tonight. She grabbed a lot of eyes with her finisher. Fight Pit's second go-round made Timothy Thatcher feel like a threat again in his signature match. The Dusty Classic tag matches were good, and it was so nice to see Lucha House Party do lucha things without handcuffs. I reckon they could do lucha things with handcuffs.
Graham and Talik just walks the ropes with no hands.
No hands.
So, yeah.
Thank God the show addressed Kurt Stallion's title shot, and I'm glad he's getting it next week. NXT keeps trucking along.
And last one here, Jesse Amorial. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Kacy Catanzaro has star written all over her. Davie, last week you identified both of the grizzled young vets as Scousers. James Drake is actually from Blackpool. I don't blame you, though, because he too wears red scarf. He really should be Tangerine. Up the Seasiders, am I right? Take care.
To be fair, I've never heard him talk.
Doesn't talk.
If he talks and sounds like Peter Kay, then yeah, I guess he's from.
Yeah, it's true. Gibson cut the promo, and you said,
Gibson,
"Oh, these Scousers,"
and he just comes out with his red scarf on.
Right.
Did not know that. Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse. I think he thinks he's a Brit.
I think he's more British than I am.
Yeah,
at
I
this
think
point.
so. Yeah, definitely. I heard he's coming back to the 6.
He is. Yeah.
Is he? Is this rumors?
Rumors.
It's
Rumor has it.
not like we can hang out with
Rumor
him
has
anyways.
it.
So yeah, that's all the feedback there. Thanks guys for writing in. We appreciate your feedback on those shows. Will we do Impact? How are we going to do Impact? Impact. You do the Impact forums as well. Maybe we should do it up on like Facebook group for the AEW feedback threads, maybe, or something. Because we don't want to take over on the post thing, but maybe on the Facebook, if anyone, or just Twitch.
Or we just do live. I think we'll keep it kind
maybe.
of how we've done it.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Do it live in the Twitch room.
Yeah, definitely. So that was NXT. I'd say 2 thumbs up. I really like the direction they're going. They literally, I know someone in the feedback there was like, yeah, less talk, more action. Little less conversation, little more action.
Absolutely. That's what we want.
That's
and
what
that's
we
what
got.
we got.
We got a fight pit, 2.
Well, we've got a lot more talk and a lot less action coming up because we've got so many shows, as we mentioned. BD Elite.
Yes.
Oh, I'm doing it now.
BD Elite.
Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time for that show. Please join us in the Twitch room. And I believe also Friday night, 6:30 Eastern, as a kind of lead into SmackDown. John Cena and Mike Hogan are going to take over the feed and just talk movies and TV. And I think this week they're going to do a bit of a One Division chat. We're not taking away from WH and Way. Theirs is going to be much more thorough. This is going to be like a chilled conversation with the Twitch room. So come in and talk Marvel with us guys before I'll probably sit down and play 2K while we watch SmackDown.
While you watch SmackDown? That's a good show lately.
SmackDown's been great. Yeah, I'm enjoying SmackDown.
So go again, twitch.tv/upnext podcast. We do the NXT post show live after NXT every Wednesday night. Come join if you've never checked it out. You don't have to pay or anything. If you want to join and just watch and follow us and just watch the feed and see what we look like. And then again, we play Jackbox games and we Twitch WW2K. Big Bird's the BD title holder in the game somehow. I think actually no, Toriano pinned him.
Toriano's defended a couple of times.
So we're pretty interactive that way. You can always follow us at UpNext Podcast, the Twitter and the Instagram, and of course Patreon.com/UpNext. Only $5 a month gets you access to every show we've ever done in that back catalog of all the Patreon shows, best matches ever, all that stuff, including all the stuff going on this month in January. And we're working on a February schedule, which is going to be banging too. So $5 a month only and gets you access to all these podcasts we do. So go check that out.
Absolutely, and we'd like to finish. We haven't done this for a few weeks,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean we don't love you. We'd like to finish with some thank yous to all the people that are a patron and help us keep this show for free each and every week. So just to name a few, I'd like to thank Spells Dinkle. Thank you very much, Spells Dinkle.
Shout out Spells Dinkle.
Shout out Spells Dinkle. Also a shout out to Cody Lattonville.
Hey, Cody. Oh, that's one of my...
That's your mate?
Yeah, high school buddies. Thank you, Cody.
A big shout out to Kieran Joints.
Thank you, Kieran.
A big shout out to Lance.
Just Lance.
Lance,
not Archer.
I like on Friday Night Lights, Landry joins the team.
Lance
and
Dorado.
Coach Taylor is like Landry's a silly name, so just calls him Lance all the time. And a big thank you to Sean Meehan.
Yes, and a big thank you to Faulty Rob.
Shout out.
And then, I just said thanks to Faulty Rob, and then the next guy's name on the list is Thomas.
Ooh.
So technically it's Faulty Rob Thomas, which is impossible because Rob Thomas is not faulty. He's the fucking greatest man to ever walk this earth. Shout out Faulty Rob, and shout out to just Thomas.
Shout out to both of you.
And shout out to CH.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's weird. I work for CH. I wonder if
It's your boss.
Support. My boss is on my Patreon.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope not.
Uh-oh. Hopefully he's not hearing all the shit you're talking about him on behind the BDE.
That's how you get a
check
sale.
what kind of subscription he has.
Thank you to Maddie B. Appreciate you, my friend. You're always in the Twitch streams. And a shout out to MCF. I'm assuming no relation to MJF, but MCF.
I mean, it could be.
We don't know. It could be. Thank you to all these people, all the people that make us run and continue pushing us and letting us podcast and do what we love to do. And anyone who just listens to this show, we appreciate it. And again, on this free feed, Deep Impact Weekly, we'll be adding BD Elite in February. All the free podcasts as well. So we won't pinch your pockets. But if you want to hear more from us, you know where to go. Thank you for listening. I think that's it.
I think that is everything. Yeah.
I myself, Braden Herrington. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram. I am at the Brady.
And I am at Davie Portman.
And soon you'll be hearing all the new themes we have for these new shows too.
Sexy new themes.
Should we debut the new one for BD Elite tomorrow?
I think so.
It's a cracker. It's a banger. Listen to those too, because I make beats sometimes. But thank you for listening. And hey, if you're in America, I'm afraid of Americans. David Bowie taught me that. But I hope you're doing all right. And love over, hate always. And take care of yourselves and your family and all that stuff. It's a new day. Yes, it is. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And thanks for letting us talk about the Fight Pit.
Ahoy!
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking these things as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you could never really know what's up next.